was good. I'm not far from the border now to Bulgaria, and I still had a lot of Turkish lira left, so I just stopped for fuel, and even though I filled my tank and I filled my fuel bladder, I still had Turkish lira left over. Now I know I can change it into Bulgarian money, I suppose, but just at that stop there was a Carrefour, a little supermarket. So I went round, I got some food, got some milk, got some pasta, and I worked it all out, and I got a basket full of shopping, and I got 1 Turkish lira change. I even got some chocolate, so I managed to get rid of all my Turkish lira. Happy with that. When I went to my last campsite, I wasn't sure if he'd take euros or whether he'd want Turkish lira or whether he'd want card payment, but he wanted a card payment, so I had a couple of thousand Turkish lira in preparation to pay for the campsite, but I never used it. I used some when I went into Istanbul, bought a meal with it, but I still had some left, so I've been using it for fuel, and again I just used the last of it in that Carrefour. Fantastic. Right, the border is about 5 kilometres down here. A little bit warm, but I don't think I'll be waiting here long, to be honest, because there's very little traffic, so we'll see how it goes. Well, that's me out of Turkey. And it's just a case of queuing up. And on the last bit there, I had to show the vehicle documents, and I had to give her my bank card as well, and she charged me 3.25 Turkish lira. I don't know what that was for. Right, I haven't got a clue where I'm going now. There we go, what's this? Another passport check and check of my V5, and I just went through a thing there and got sprayed with some liquid. And I'm in no man's land now. Oh god, here we go, another wait. It's 39 degrees. 39 degrees. Oh, wonderful. I'm into Bulgaria, I think. That was temperature's gone up to 40 degrees. That's because I'm waiting in the sun. I'm sweating like a junkie's teaspoon on payday. It's hot. Hello, Bulgaria. I'm into Bulgaria. That's taken about 40 minutes. The actual passport bit didn't take long at all on both sides. It's just waiting, queuing behind the cars. On the last bit there, the Bulgarian border, I was just waiting like everybody else, and then this guy come over and says, "You go forward, go through, go through." And I looked at him, he says, "Go through, go through." So I went to the front of the queue, and all these Bulgarians behind started beeping their horns and shouting. So I just ignored them. So Golden Eye Casino. Ooh. And there we go, I'm into Bulgaria. My t-shirt and my jacket is absolutely wet through with sweat. Nothing worse than just sitting there with the sun on your shoulders. But it is what it is. So what have I got now? I've got 170 kilometres to go. It's 12:30 in the afternoon. I had some drinks when I topped up with fuel and did some last minute shopping just before I crossed over the border, and a nice couple of cold drinks. So I'm all saturated with fluids. So this is Bulgaria. I wonder what the speed limits are. I've seen no speed limits signs yet. Oh, here's one coming up. What is it? 60 kilometres. Just go with the flow. When it's hot like this, you're just going along and you get waves and waves of heat. You think it'd be get a nice cool breeze, but no way. You get a breeze, but it's a hot breeze. But got my gloves off. I'm trying to get the wind to go down my sleeves. I could feel the sweat trickling down my back. So Bulgaria now. I was going to head up to the coast, book a bit Airbnb or look on booking.com. I just fancied going into a hotel for a couple of days, sleep in a proper bed. But no, I'm going to go I'm going to go west. There's a place I want to see that's got a Roman amphitheatre. So I'm going to go for culture. Right, I'm going to put the music on. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Well, that was a good couple of days. I left Turkey a few days ago and crossed the border, which was quite easy actually. It wasn't bad at all. The actual passport bit and everything like that was dead easy, dead simple, dead quick, but it was just waiting, quite a lot of cars, which was strange because on the way up there was very few cars on the motorway, but anyway, well, it was 40 degrees, so I was sweating a bit by the time I got through passport control and customs. Turkey wasn't bad, bit more of an extended wait, about 20 minutes on the Turkey side, and it was about nearly 30 minutes, 25 minutes on the Bulgarian side. I was kind of and I'm getting a little bit worried on the Turkey side because there's I think there's 3 different checks you go through. Now Turkey, there's lots of speed cameras everywhere, and I'm thinking hopefully a speed camera's not got me and told the people at passport control, because one of the last things you do is go through a police checkpoint and they search a database to see if you've got any crimes against you. So I was okay. I was kind of sad to leave Turkey in a way. Excuse me. Really nice scenery, lots of things to see, but I did find Turkey a little bit expensive. The tourist attractions, very expensive, especially in Istanbul. The Topkapi Palace, €55. Yeah, it's €5 for the locals to go and see it, and all the other attractions are €25. I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, the tourists want to see these things, so let's the tourists pay for the upkeep. But you know, to be charging the Turkish people €5 and yet the rest of us €55, I'm not sure about the principle behind that, to be honest. Mind you, there was cruise ships in the harbour, and everywhere you get cruise ships you always get inflated prices. So moral of the story, don't go where cruise ships go. So yeah, the roads were great in Turkey. From spectacularly good to spectacularly scary, and the scary ones are the really bumpy roads with old tarmac, and with the old tarmac as well, what you find is, because the heat has melted the roads a bit, there's 2 grooves that the trucks have made, and if you get in a groove you start all this wobbling business, which was interesting. Some roads just gravel, they've not put tarmac on top of it, which again was a bit scary. Fortunately got a 21-inch front wheel, so it wasn't too bad. Some roads though are there's lots of tar snakes as well, but they're in the minority. The majority of the roads are superb. There's a big road building programme at the moment throughout Turkey, and they're building new roads everywhere, and absolutely lovely. Some of the brand new roads, they're like the Formula 1 Grand Prix quality, absolutely You could play snooker on them, absolutely flat and smooth, beautiful. And as for the Turks, I mean, the Turkish people are strange because they're a bit standoffish at first, very straight-faced, but as soon as you start engaging with them, they're really friendly and open and hospitable, and I've got nothing but happy memories of Turkey, really. So I got to Plovdiva a few days ago. Yesterday I went to see the amphitheatre, the old city, bits and pieces, and then I came back and I did some video editing and just chilled out. Now I was going to go towards the Black Sea coast and chill out for a few days, but what I've decided to do, I'm going to head north. I'm going to go to Romania, and because the heat here for the past 2 days has been absolutely incredible. It's been over 40 degrees, so I'm going to Romania. Hopefully it's a bit higher, a little bit cooler as well. So last night it was about 26 degrees. Oh, it took me ages to get to sleep. I was so hot, and there was no breeze. Wouldn't be too bad if there was a little breeze, but there wasn't a breeze. Anyway, that's me on the road, heading north to Romania, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye. Well, what an amazing thing to see. It's up here in the mountains, surrounded by all this beauty. It's amazing. And apparently it was a monument to the Soviet Union, I think. But absolutely superb to see. It's the contrast, like the yin and the yang. You've got all this beauty and all this greenery, and then you've got that on top of a hill, absolute in the middle of nowhere, and so high. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But wow. Unfortunately, it's not open. It's all locked up, and they've got a policeman there, so you can't go inside. I think it's all wrecked and it's all unsafe. I don't know how old it is. 60, 50 years. I don't know. But and there was two Turkish bikers, not Turkish, Greek bikers there, and a Bulgarian biker. So I had a nice little chat with them. Took a few pictures, some horses nearby, and wow, I still can't believe it's the contrast, you know, all that beauty, and then that, I was going to say carbuncle, but it's not, because it's beauty in its own way, and unfortunately it's starting to deteriorate. Maybe that's the reason why it's closed. If they spent some money, they could refurbish it and charge people to go in to have a look and go up on the gallery, and you can see all around. But maybe it's too far gone inside. But yeah, anyway, I'm heading down now, and at the moment I've probably got about 4 litres left in the tank. 3. I need some fuel. Fortunately, it's going to be mostly downhill though, so that's good. So that's an interesting morning, seeing that. And hopefully there'll be another monument about 100 kilometres further north, hopefully. So Bulgaria's been quite nice. It's this road is a little bit bumpy, because it's an old road. It's been patched many times, but on the whole the roads in Bulgaria are surprisingly good, to be honest. Really are. And on the Edinburgh scale, where I'd say Edinburgh is 0 and excellent is 5, I would put them on a good 4, good 3 to 4. On the whole, generally, I'd say 4, because once you, I mean, this is an old road, it's been patched, and it is a bit bumpy, but this is rare. As I've been riding around Bulgaria, the roads are actually quite good, very good. But Bulgaria is mostly agricultural. Mostly agricultural, and it's only like coming up here to the north where you start getting the mountains. The campsite yesterday was really quite nice, past couple of nights. Just a private house and his garden, turned it into a little campground. You could probably get about half a dozen camper vans or tents, and because when I arrived there was no one else there, I got a space underneath a tree, and it was great because it was in the shade. The showers was excellent, although yesterday I had 2 showers yesterday. Slightly warm in the morning, in the afternoon I just had a tepid shower, almost cold to be honest, I was so hot. But the past couple of days it's 40 degrees. Yesterday and last night took me ages to get to sleep. But it is what it is, you know. You come to a hot country, or you come to a part of the world where they get a hot summer, and that's what you get, that's what you tend to expect. But my Northern European blood is not used to it. But yeah, Bulgaria is really quite nice. I'm still tempted to go off towards the coast and have a couple of days in a hotel. Little bit of rest and relaxation. I'm going to get some fuel in a minute, then I'm going to have a snack, something to drink, and I'll have a little think about what to do next. I mean, some people when they do trips they plan every step of the way, they plan, but I hate doing that. It's just not me. I mean, I spent years and years planning and living by the timetable, living by the diary, and now I do anything not to live by the diary. And I just love the fact that making it up as you go along is quite exciting. Sometimes I have an idea of a rough direction I'm going in, which is fine, but when you've got no definite plans, you can veer off to the left, veer off to the right, stay a bit longer in one place, or decide you've had enough of a place and decide to move on. So that's what I love, not making plans, and I love just making it up as I go along. It's great. It took about 15 minutes to come off the main road and get to the very top, and it's just these gentle winding roads. If you had a camper van, there was loads of little lay-bys, lots of little places where you could park up, I'm sure, for the night or the day. But it was a pleasure being up there because it was a little bit of a nip in the air. It was lovely, absolutely lovely. But in Plovdiv, the day before yesterday was in Plovdiv. Went to have a look at some Roman ruins from 1 AD. Superb. There was a theatre there, an amphitheatre there from 1 AD, and they still use it now. And they were getting ready for a little concert. Fantastic that all that time and they're still using it. And there was also a Roman stadium and a Roman forum, mostly just little bits of them, but they integrated them into the city centre, which I thought was fantastic. There was one bit, this stadium, and there's like an arch bit with the seats where all the spectators sat, and they'd opened it up, and there was the sort of, it was surrounded by the shops, and there was even like a coffee shop on a veranda. Absolutely superb. There was a big statue I wanted to see, a monument to the Soviet soldier. Unfortunately, when I managed to find it, it was the middle of the afternoon, but it was the top of a big hill, really steep hill, little mountain, and you couldn't, the only way you could get up there was to walk, and it was 40 degrees, it was the middle of the afternoon, I've been walking around, and I just couldn't do it. I thought, no way, I'm not going to go up there. So that was it. But coming back to the village, which is about 20 kilometres to the west of Plovdiv, they had their own statue, which was a monument to the anti-fascists. But that was a good campsite. That was what was that? It was €15 a night. I thought it was, when I looked on iOverlander, it said it was a bit cheaper, but because it's July, it's summer, I suppose you can't blame them asking for money. But I don't begrudge them that, because the facilities were good. The facilities were excellent, and it was nice and peaceful. Although there was a French family there, and this morning the mother and daughter went for the shower, and they were in there for over half an hour. I kid you not, over half an hour. I kept going over and rattling the door off. Come on, get up! All I wanted to do was get in there. I wanted to go to the toilet and brush my teeth, have a quick wash, and then get on the bike and go. So, but I was looking at my watch, and I kid you not, half an hour they were in there. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Some people have no concept of time. I suppose I'm similar in a little way, that I've got no concept of time in a calendar sense. Yeah, I know when it's early, and sometimes I like to get on the road about 7:30, because I'm quite conscious that the day gets old very quickly. But I never know what the date is. I sometimes look at my calendar and I think, wow, it's the 27th, I didn't realise, because the last time I'd look it was something like the 5th or the 8th of the month. But when you're on a small campsite and there's one shower and you're in there for half an hour, you think, for God's sake. And they were chatting away. Anyway. And there was a Dutch guy there as well, turned up last night in a Citroen 2CV, and he'd just come back from Georgia, and he was heading back to Holland. It was a bright orange 2CV with crash bars inside, extra fuel tank, Recaro seats, and 650cc. Fantastic. And we had a good chat last night. And he's travelled all over the place. He's been to lots and lots of places. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put some music on, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye. So that is the Monument of Freedom, and it was built about 1935, 1938, and they built it to commemorate a big battle that took place here in I think it was 1878, and that memorial is called the Memorial to Freedom, because the battle was just behind us. There is something called I think it's called the Shivla Pass, and the Turks were trying to invade Bulgaria, and there was an army, a Turkish army of about 37,000 soldiers, well, 27 plus a reserve of 10,000, and defending here was a small army of 2,700, Russian soldiers and Bulgarian volunteers, 2,700, and for 3 days they held off the Turks. In fact, what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to take a quick picture. Yeah, why not? So, as I was saying, the Memorial of Freedom, built in 1935, around that time, 1938. So, there was a Turkish army approaching, 27,000 plus 10,000 reserves, and just up here there was a small force of about 2,700 Russian soldiers and Bulgarian volunteers, and for 3 days they held off the Turkish army, using cannons, using bayonets, hand-to-hand fighting. It was brutal and brave fighting. And on the 4th day the Bulgarian reserves arrived just in time, because the main defenders were starting to run out of ammunition and men. And when the reserves arrived, they still had a hard battle, because that's when the Turks committed their reserves, and for 3 more days there was heavy fighting, but they repelled the Turks. And at the same time there was another battle further up north, again where the Bulgarians were engaging the Turks, and then that was it. The invasion was done with and the Turks went home. But apparently it was very bloody hand-to-hand fighting with a small force of 2,700, and that's why they built the memorial. So that's another bit of culture done for today. So I'm heading north again. I'm heading for a place beginning with P. I don't think about what to do today. I'd rather head to the coast, book a hotel room for a few days because I feel like sleeping in a bed, or head north and carry on. So I've decided to head north. So I'm heading for a place called, I think it's called Ruse, R-U-S-E. So I found a campsite there, but nearby there's a castle and an old monastery, so go and have a look at them tomorrow. I could have gone into Romania today, to be honest. I could have, but no, everything's okay. Don't see the need to rush, to be honest. So I found this campsite. It's about 170 kilometres further on north, and that's where I'm heading for today. Right, I'm going to put the music on because you don't want to hear me waffling and waffling and waffling. So I'll speak to you soon, and bye bye for now. Before I got to that monument and that monument for freedom, I had about 20 kilometres in the other direction coming up. Oh, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and Coming north now, I've got this similar set of roads, mostly going down. Oh, lovely, really nice. It's a nice pleasant temperature, and all the bends are really nice and gentle. Oh yeah, I love this. Well, that was handy. What I like to do in the afternoon is if I see a shop, then I'll get my food for that evening. So my campsite's about 20 kilometres down that way, and I was just coming through this little town, and I thought they're bound to have a little shop. The only thing I needed was milk, because my only dietary requirement is every morning I eat muesli. Some people can have a cup of coffee or a croissant. Me, I like a bowl of muesli. And so I have milk, so every day I get milk, carton of UHT, which you can get any shop, anywhere. So that's me. So I've already got food, so I'm okay for food. I just needed milk really, so I got myself something to drink. I got myself a packet of M&Ms for later, and I got a cold drink, which I will enjoy when I get to my campsite. Iced tea. I love lemon tea. I absolutely love lemon tea. When you come to these countries, you can always get a big bottle of Lipton's lemon tea. I love it. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that the campsite has got a fridge that I can put my lemon tea in, get it nice and cool. If not, I'll have to get a bucket, fill it full of cold water and let it sit in there for a while. Right, look at all those fields there, lots and lots of agriculture. Right, I'll speak to you soon. And hello the internet, and hello to my subscriber. And I'm in this really peaceful and quiet campsite, and it's great. There's no screaming kids, there's no dogs barking, no chickens, no donkeys. It's really peaceful. And so I got here about an hour or so ago, 2 hours, got set up, and it's been an easy day. I left Plovdiv this morning and headed northeast, heading to a place called Ruse, R-U-S-E. I think they say it differently in Bulgaria, but it was a short journey, about 270 kilometres, 280 kilometres. But on the way, I got to see a couple of monuments, a big flying saucer-shaped monument, which was absolutely amazing. And also a testament to the Soviet era design. It was built to commemorate the creation of the Bulgarian Democratic Party, which came on to become the Bulgarian Communist Party. It was built in 1981, but it only existed for about 10 years, because 1991, that's when the Berlin Wall fell, and that's when everything crumbled. And apparently inside there was corridors with all these mosaics made out of glass and ceramics to highlight communism. And when communism fell, the building, the interior was vandalised and lots of things stolen, so it's just an empty shell now. Then after that I went to another memorial which commemorated a battle that took place about 1887 between the Turks and the Russians and the Bulgarians, and that again was an impressive thing to see. And then I carried on towards the campsite. Now, just north of me, about 20 kilometres, is the city of Ruse. So today I could have gone over into Romania. I could have carried on to Romania. I thought I could go to Bucharest. But no, I came here because nearby there are some cave dwellings I want to go and see. And I want to go and have a look at Ruse as well. Why not? I'm not on any timetable, so why make things difficult for myself? So I'm going to be here for a couple of days, enjoying this peace and quiet. And tomorrow I'll go and do some cultural things. And maybe the next day or the day after that I'll head into Romania. But my only niggle with this campsite is you can't park your motorbike next to your tent. Also, it's not very flat either, so trying to find somewhere in the shade and also somewhere that's flat wasn't exactly easy on this campsite. But that was my tent back there, and you've got to walk all this way. Come down some steps to where I can park my bike. And it's no biggie, it's just the point of fact is all your luggage is on there, and when you're next to your tent you just get all your stuff off and it's easy to pack it all on. It just means that when I pack up to leave I'm going to have to make a couple of journeys to get all my kit across. And just behind we've got a nice little toilet block. It's quite new actually, it's brand new. And there's a fridge there, there's a cooker, so I don't have to use my gas. And I've had a shower already, nice cool shower. It's strange, isn't it, because it's for most of the year I'm looking for a hot shower. Yeah, here I'm looking for a cool shower, and it was in the 40s again today, so another hot one. But yeah, and it's lovely, nice and peaceful, and I'm the only person here, which is absolutely amazing. Although
we've got this little chap. Strange, he seems to have come from nowhere and seems to have adopted me. But it's beautiful, and it's just nothing but hills surrounding, and you can't hear a thing. It's beautiful and so peaceful. So hopefully I'll get a peaceful night tonight. Most campsites are okay. Usually the noise dies down after a while. Some campsites, so you get the dogs start barking late in the evening, and then you get the dawn chorus of the local mosque or something like that. But this is really peaceful. So I'm going to be here for a couple of days. Going to catch up on some laundry. In fact, I've got some laundry out already. I've got a few more bits and pieces that I'm going to wash in a little while, and then maybe do a little bit of video editing. But it's really hot. Last night I looked at the weather chart. I think it was 26 overnight. It'll be the same tonight as well. It's quite I go to sleep. I haven't used my sleeping bag in weeks. For the past 2, maybe 3 weeks I've not used my sleeping bag, so I sleep on top of my blow up mattress, and about 2:30 I tend to wake up just for the little bit of a chill. So I've got like a sleeping bag inner, so I climb into my sleeping bag inner, and that does me. Yeah, so thanks for watching here in peaceful and sunny Bulgaria. It's so quiet. It's so peaceful. It's lovely. Anyway, thanks for watching, and the next bit of the video, I think, yeah, I'll be in Romania, and little kitchenette there. I'm going to get some food on the go in a little while. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.